Appreciate y'all tuning in. And let's go to the phone right now. Hello, who dat? We got you on the line.
This is James Scott Bullard. How are you doing?
Hey, man, Mr. James Scott Bullard. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to have you here on the program. I'm glad we finally figured out the phone situation over here. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's my pleasure entirely. And I've been bragging on you something fierce here about this new album, this new CD. So let's do this. Let's start off proper like. Introduce yourself proper like. Tell folks who dat, where you at, okay? And let's get into some music.
I am James Scott Bullard. I am from South Carolina. Born and raised. And they got this new album, Untitled Boogie, coming out in actually just a couple of weeks. And I'm really excited about it. It's so far getting a lot of good reviews and a lot of airplay, and I appreciate you doing that as well.
Well, listen, man, I was excited to get it, and it was great because I got the message from Missy, and it's like, you want to check this out? I'm like, sure. And I tell you, I honestly and truly am a huge fan instantly overnight because it's what you do is wonderful. Okay, I love your vocal styling. I love your music. I love the arrangement. So let's talk about a few things here, and we'll get into some songs. I know some of them got one of them got some potty mouth we can't play, and that's what's unfortunate because I like it.
I'm talking about. I got you.
But there's not a song on here that I won't listen to more than once, and it's easy to say about a lot of albums where you like 2 or 3 songs, even with some of the best artists out there, it's like, you get an album, you cherry pick your favorites, and that ends up on your mixtape. But this right here, I'm going to tell you,
exactly.
I listen to every one of these over and over. I've been listening to it nonstop since I got it. So let's mind our manners and let's give credit where credit's due. Let's talk about the people who are on this album. Big Mavis, who I think did a wonderful job producing it, and then get into the music and the stories behind it. How about we do that?
Certainly. I'm gonna tell you, the band was my my regional touring band for a good couple of years, I guess, before this record got made, and it was, I guess it feels like it's a real band because it was, because we had played those songs a lot live together before they ever got recorded. And I don't like to restrain anybody. All the players on there are absolutely top of their game, best of their field. And I'm not the kind of person who's going to say, I'm married to this solo or this exact drum lick or what. Do what you want to do. You're the drummer, not me. Kind of thing. That's how I look at it. So I just kind of let them, let's just, here's the outline of the song, and you go run with it. And, I had not heard it in a long time, and then went and read back and heard it again after the production stuff was done, the post-production stuff was done, and I was blown away, like literally at what they had done. Not because it was me at all, because I was tired of those songs by that time. But hearing what, everyone else had come in and done, and their overdubs and things like that, it was just, I was blown away. I was blown away. The production, the mastering, all of it was just beyond my expectation.
Well, I like that. I had this conversation recently with another artist, and we were talking about it. And one of the things that I found interesting is that actually it was just Mr. Steve Cohen who was in here, and he does co-writes. And he writes his own music, but he brings in Mrs. Jessica Clee, and they do co-writes. And what I thought was cool was what he said is he kind of, like, here's what I have, this is what I write, but I'm not married to it. Like, if you can improve it, you can make it better. And I find that's rare in a lot of artists who are very sensitive about, I wrote this is my baby, this is how I want to raise it. And I think that kind of shows in your music, and like I said, it showed in his music where your ultimate goal was the best finished product. It wasn't, how many cooks were in the kitchen, it was coming up with the best gumbo, you know what I mean?
That's exactly. I couldn't have said that better. I could not have said that better. That was perfect. No, that's true. I didn't want to. Yeah, of course, I think maybe when I was younger, you tend to want to have complete control, and you're kind of scared to let go of the reins a little bit, not sure which way the carriage is going to go. But then, when you have people that you trust, that you can lean on, who have your best interest at heart, because not only is it going out to the public, it's going out with their name on it too, and you have to just kind of have to grow up a little bit, doing it to understand that that's a necessary thing, to let people have the freedom to express themselves through what you've already created. Once I lay out, like my dad used to say, once I lay out the foundation, I'm going to need help building the house. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm telling you, the album's called Full Tilt Boogie. You have a worldwide release coming out soon. I think it's like an online release, right?
Yes. Actually, we're doing Wednesday night. Wednesday night, there's going to be some fans who did there was a little bit of a pre-sale kind of thing, and one of the options, one of the things they could buy was a listening party, a virtual listening party, and then we're doing that Wednesday night for the fans that paid for that. So that's gonna, and then I can't remember the exact date that that they can listen to the full album of the streaming, but I know that you can. Well, I know you can listen to it streaming now, and I think you can download 2 of the tracks. But I can't remember the exact.
I thought it was the 27, but Miss Missy, she'll email us or post it up there on Facebook for us. I know there's an event page on it. And forgive me, I got a ton of dates in my head. I got a bunch of artists that we'll be interviewing and things like that. So I just rely on what's in front of me. Right now, what I have in front of me is the album. And so you're talking about the folks on there. So if y'all are just tuning in, we're speaking with super singer, super songwriter, Mr. James Scott Bullard, and he has a new album, Full Tilt Boogie, that is just blowing up everywhere. And if y'all are curious, joining him on this, the people that made this work out great is Mr. Bullard himself is doing lead vocals. He plays electric and acoustic on this. He has Mike Knight on drums. He has Justin Banks, organ, piano, Kevin Singleton on bass, Jeff Springs doing lead electric and acoustic and lap steel. And that's one of the cool things I dig about this is that he has a funky upbeat kind of is, you know what it is, man. It's like he's taken a classic, like a 57 Chevy down a gravel road. He's taking a classic car down, and it has that sound for it, let's see. It's really great what you're doing on there. You got Rebecca Morning doing background, and I was wondering who she was because I really like her voice. She has a lot of power in that. Rebecca Morning on the background vocals, John Adams doing background vocals, and then the folks over at where was this at? I was just looking. So Ken Dakota and those guys. Yeah. So this is really fantastic, and I have to tell you, Miss Missy Davis Jones and Ken Dakota, you've done a wonderful job, not only producing but promoting. So you can find all that information. So I'm gonna get into some music, and when we come back, we're gonna do all the advertising, Mr. Bullard. We're gonna tell people where they can find your music, the website, the where to buy stuff, and everything like that. That's let's do that. So what I want to do is I want to pick out a tune, have you tell folks about it, and let's see which one is it's got the SOB on there. We can't play. Hang on. You there?
Yeah, you pick your favorite, and I'll tell you what it's about.
Well, I like Jesus Gel in Texas. I got to start with that one right there.
Jesus Gel in Texas. This is an absolute. All my songs are true stories. I don't write about anything I don't know. And so the story behind that song is I got a phone call one day from a buddy of mine, police officer, local police officer in the town I live in, and said, "You're not going to believe this, but I arrested 2 of your ex-girlfriends together today in the same car, for the same reason." And I said, no, that couldn't happen. Apparently it did. And so I just kind of put that in the back of my head, went on. And then, so not long after that, I was kind of searching for an old ex, kind of just to see maybe what happened to her. Like, well, I found out she had gone down to Texas and had, gotten married, had a baby, and all this kind of stuff. And I said, okay, well, good for her. And then fast forward a little bit, you hear through the grapevine what happened to so-and-so, and everybody, thinks you kind of still care, and they just want you to know. I don't know what reason people think you need to know what happened to your exes, but you hear about it through the grapevine. And a lot of them had gone and found, they got married and they'd found spirituality in the church, and which is, I've said 100 times, finding Jesus is way better than finding me. So
you should put that in the song. You got some great lines in your songs, by the way, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, so the be-all and end-all of that song is that all of that is absolutely true. I had two, one girl that went to Texas, one who went to jail, 3 or 4 found Jesus, and you know how the rest of it goes. So that's I guess kind of how that song started. It was basically, and there was another little trick to it too, is that I had been writing, I'd put out several records prior to this, and they were all kind of the poor, lonesome-hearted cowboy thing, that was being, they'd been done to death almost, I don't think it could ever be done too much, but I had done as much of it as I needed to do, so to speak. And so my manager one day said, well, why don't you just kind of be own it, just turn it around. And so I had seen this interview with Keith Richards. He said that everybody had somebody's got to wear the black hat, somebody's got to be bad guy. And so that, when you hear me in the song kind of saying, okay, you pack up your things and, get on out, and you got so much time because I ain't got no mercy left, kind of at it. I took it on a different attitude. As opposed to poor me, it was like, you better get this,
Right.
So that was just kind of how that song came about, was like, having that, that attitude, kind of planted there, and then having had the experience of those things actually happening. And I said, well, that's a good title.
All right, well, let's give it a play then. And you send me over the liner, and we'll do this. Now, which one has the, there's the one, which one is it I was talking about earlier, because it has the SOB in it. Huh?
Yes, the Hey Mama.
Yeah, that's right. All right, yeah. So I'm going to introduce this one, then I'll have you do the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gumbo YAYA radio show, 89.1 FM, WFDU, HD2. And we'll be playing Jesus Jailer, Texas by Mr. James Scott Bullard off of his Full Tilt Boogie CD, available soon now everywhere. You can find all that information on his Facebook page and his website. So let's give this a listen.
Hey, this is James Scott Bullard, and you're listening to Gumbo YAYA radio show on WFDU 89.1 FM.
Hey, mama, put your best drills on.
All right, y'all, I miscounted my count here. So let's see if we can get this right. James Scott Bullard, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Gumbo YAYA radio show. One more time.
Baby, pack up your things and be gone when I get home. I heard all about the ways you done me wrong, and I ain't the forgiving kind, so you best be moving on. 'Cause I got one gal, she went to Texas, 2 they went to jail, 3 or 4 found Jesus, and the rest can go straight to hell. Texas to rid yourself of me. Honey, you ain't the first one, you ain't gonna be the last. You might not be the worst one, but you damn sure ain't the best. And I'm all out of pity, so you best be moving fast. Oh, 'cause I got one gal, she went to Texas, two they went to jail, three or four found Jesus, and the rest can go straight to hell. Oh, me, oh my. Oh my, oh me. Oh, mama, is Jesus jail to Texas to rid yourself of me. So get your things together, do what I say do. You go and try your low down ways on some other old fool. I'm just about one more drink for being over you, all over you. 'Cause I got one gal, she went to Texas, two they went to jail, three or four found Jesus, and the rest can go straight to hell. Oh, me, oh my. Oh my, oh me. Oh honey, is Jesus jail to Texas to rid yourself of me. Oh honey, is Jesus jail to Texas to rid yourself of me.
Hey, this is James Scott Bullard, and you're listening to Gumbo YAYA Radio Show on WFDU 89.1 FM in New York.
That was Mr. James Scott Bullard right here. Jesus, Jail of Texas. I almost played the Hiccup Boo Boo song, but we corrected that. I tell you what, man, Miss Missy she's quicker on the draw than Wyatt Earp. She heard the first two notes of that song, and I got a message from her right off the bat there. I thought you couldn't play that. So, God bless you, man. You got her working for you. Can't nobody be against you. I guarantee that much. So
I got a team, a great team. I have a great team behind me between her and Emily and Kim and Rich. Those, I mean, I honestly can't imagine having done. There's no way this could have been done without them. You know, without all of them. And Missy's the one who orchestrated the team and produced the record. And sometimes I'm hard to deal with and might dig my heels in a little bit, but you know, I've found out in my life that if I pay attention to a woman most of the time, I usually go the right track.
there you go, man. So this is James Scott Bullard over here, and he's got a new album out. So where can people find your music? Where can, let's give them a website, at least that much.
They can go to www.jamesscottbullard.com. That will take them to everything that any form of social media.
You there? Are you on a wireless or
I am.
Yeah, do me a favor. Just you're gonna have to hold it up to your head. So
How's that?
yeah, that's a little better. I appreciate that, man. So
No worries.
yeah, so
We get they can go to jamesscottbullard.com, and that has links to every social media outlet, every site they can go to buy it, everywhere they can download or listen to it streaming. Any information they need will be right there.
all right,
At
perfect.
jamesscottbullard.com.
Perfect. And it's Bullard for those.
That's correct.
So what I was telling people about your music, and I said, like, it's, if you like Bob Seger, if you like Molly Hatchet, if you like Merle Haggard, if those kind of, you're gonna love what he does. And I said it's
Appreciate that.
I think earlier in the program I said he's got a rock and roll soul with like a country heart and a good old boy upbringing. It's just, I mean, it fits. It's really good, man. It's good stuff. Now I know.
Appreciate that.
Let's talk about some of this diversity. And first of all, God bless you and congratulations, man, on
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
on where you're at right now. You want to talk about that? Is there a message out there for folks, or?
No, listen, I'm just ecstatic. I could not be kind of more shocked and pleased that people are, paying attention as much as they are, and liking what they're hearing and coming out to the shows. I mean, it's just it's kind of surreal. It's kind of like you go from playing your local places to the bartender and to touring, and suddenly it's like a line of people waiting to get T-shirts and have stuff signed, and I'm just like, at any minute I'm thinking somebody's going to tap me on the shoulder and say, you don't belong here. You're like, but I really do appreciate it. Without the people listening and coming to the shows, which I find is a huge thing in the underground country and Americana music. With the fan base, they are really just true blue, man. They are loyal people. They come out to the shows, they buy the records. None of us do what we do without them doing what they do.
It comes. I think because what you write about, you said all this when you're writing is true story. It comes, and I think when you share of yourself like that, it comes out, and I think that's one of the things, and you don't hold back. You post on your bio that you talk about going through rehab and being substance free and things like that. So you put it, you wear you wear it on your sleeve, and I think that people, there's a message behind that, that people could.
Yeah, that is just there's nothing, no shame to me whatsoever in having lived the life that I've lived, which hasn't always been a good idea. I've not been good at making decisions a lot, but it has led me to this point. So I don't regret a thing. I don't regret anything. I just know that if it happened to me and I can say something and one person goes, oh, well, I can identify with that, then I've done what I'm supposed to do. And that's just kind of how I think about it. Like, I don't know. Somebody asked me a while back, like, why do you think people are catching on? I have no clue. I don't know. Like, just honesty. Like you said, it's just the honesty, I guess. You kind of just, be who you are and don't ever try to write about anything you don't know. Because people are a lot slicker than they're given credit for. The listeners, they see right through it. They see right through if it's not genuine.
Well, that's good.
So
It's good that you're there with that, and if people want to see you and want to find out where you're at, they go to your website. I know the next thing you got coming up is on the 27th is you got Dee's Country Cocktail Lounge in Nashville. You're going to be in Nashville in April 27th,
yes,
and then May you're going to be on the radio again.
Yes, sir.
And so that information there on the website and on the Facebook. And before we were talking, I said I love your lyrics. I'm a lyrics guy. I like lyrics. I like something that has a hook to it. There's some of my favorites are like "Hurry Home Drops on Her Cheek That Trickled from Her Eye." I think Chuck Berry is one of my favorites. Like he wrote that, along this Memphis, Tennessee. Things like that. Like "The Silence of a Falling Star Lights Up a Purple Sky." Hank Williams. That's a great line. Shake it down, shake it down, shake it down now from Brick House is one of the best lines ever written,
That's right.
You got the boogie woogie like a knife in the back. And so I won't kick you out of bed unless you want it like it on the floor is one of my favorites. And the other one is I might be crazy, but I ain't crazy about you. So those went into my book, those two lines. I love those. I love those.
I'm glad you like. Yeah. No, those are again true to life. So that line, the kick her out of bed line. That was something my dad always said to me.
Well, your daddy is
a youngster,
bona fide genius. So
yeah. No, that was what you call backwood genius. That was.
All right, so let's do this, man. I got "Leavin' on my mind. I love that song. I got it queued up. It's number 8 here on this. Just real quick, I want to get into as much music as we can here. Let's tell folks about the song. Then I want you to introduce yourself. Let people know they're listening. Introduce the song and let them know they're listening to the Gumbo YAYA radio show. Can you do that for me?
Absolutely. So, "Leavin' on my mind" is exactly what it says, man. I was. Everybody's been in a situation where you just didn't want to be, and you knew you had to get going, or it was going to just kill you. And so that's pretty much what this song's about. And so without further ado, I'm James Scott Bullard. You're listening to Gumbo YAYA Radio, and this is "Leavin' on My Mind."
Well, I gotta leave this God-forsaken city, or I'm just gonna lay right here and die. I had all I can stand of this here promised land, and all I got is leaving on my mind. I don't want your empty kind of pity. Don't you bother dropping me no lines. Oh, I'm jumping on the fastest thing I'm moving, 'cause all I got is leaving on my mind. Take me down to Austin, find me a Texas queen. Take me up to Memphis, where they laid the king. Drop me in Mississippi, round the mighty riverbank. Oh, Montgomery, Alabama, where they buried Hank. From Louisiana bayou to the Carolina pines, all I got is leaving on my mind.
Hey, this is James
I
Scott.
know you say you don't want me leaving, but I won't stay and listen to your lies. Oh, it must have been your kiss left me feeling like this. 'Cause all I got is leaving on my mind. So you just sit right there and pitch a fit, mama, but I'll be gone before the new sunrise. Oh, I know where I belong now that love is dead and gone, and all I got is leaving on my mind. Take me down to Austin, find me a Texas queen. Take me up to Memphis, where they laid the king. Drop me in Mississippi, round the mighty riverbank. Oh, Montgomery, Alabama, where they buried Hank. From Louisiana
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is WFDU 89.1 FM on the HD2 airwaves. And we're chatting with Mr. James Scott Bullard. He's got his new Full Tilt Boogie CD out. And he's been so kind as to join us online. We're sharing his music, sharing the stories behind it. And Mr. Bullard, thank you again. I appreciate that. I love that song. I love that upbeat. I mean, you know, there's shades of CDB in there. You know, that rocking and rolling. You know, South's gonna do it again. One of those kind of sitting on the bar stool, acting like a darn fool.
I hear you. That's exactly what this CD is. It's a barroom fight waiting to happen.
That's it. It's great, man. I love it. I've been listening to it over and over nonstop. And what I want to do is we talked about the songs on here. I think all the pieces. What are my favorite? I love all the pieces. Hey Hey Mama is really nice. I like that. Jesus. Jail of Texas. Evil Lovin' is good. It's got one of my favorite lines in it. We talked about that before. Leavin' on My Mind.
Right.
Back to You. Yeah. You know, these are all good stuff. Now, based on the conversation, you talked about how you write this. Is any of this co-writes?
No, I'm the only co-writing the only thing I would consider co-writing is, for example, if I go in the studio or go to a rehearsal with the band and there's a guitar part added. As far as lyrically or just the chord structure and everything else, that's all me. I write. Man, in fact, I've already got 2 more records written and ready to go. It just it's kind of like a faucet, once it turns.
Well, how many do you have released now? How many albums? What is this the first? Full. Actually, no, it's not, is it?
No, but this will be actually the first all original LP to be under the Big Mavis label. The first record that was released was kind of a compilation of all my past stuff. It was like we took kind of a best of, and put it together, and that was called The Rise and Fall of James Scott Bullard. That they can also find that on the website. And then the second thing that was done was a tribute to Graham Parsons. We did a Graham Parsons tribute record where we did 4 tracks of his and Burrito Brothers, and then the third thing to come out off the label was an EP of my own called Box of Letters, which was just kind of a precursor to this record, where it was kind of for me, it was like a shedding the skin of the poor cowboy and moving more towards the, taking responsibility for my downfall, so to speak.
All right, yeah. So there's tons of music on the website. Carolina Rose is one that I like. Big City Blues is another one that I like. Josephine. So that was my question. I didn't know if these were all just so the Rise and Fall is your compilation.
Yes. Rise and Fall is that record. Yep.
And Box of Letters. Now, Wicked Ways. What is Wicked Ways? That's just a single?
Wicked Ways is a single. It's on Full Tilt Boogie, but it was the first one that we filmed the video for this record. First one we shot the video for, and it was just kind of happened. I wasn't even sure what, because I directed this video, and it was edited by Matt Odom, who is a brilliant director and is far more than I am. But I wasn't even sure what we were gonna do. So once we put it together, it kind of watching the video back, and then I hadn't done any performance footage yet. And I said, God, we couldn't figure out what song it went with, and so finally it ended up being Wicked Ways. The footage we shot kind of went with that the best and told the story. So.
All right, well, let's just go ahead and play that then. Let's do Wicked Ways here. And the opening line on it is the opening lyrics are, I mean, again, the hook is right there in the very first line, the very first lyric. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gumbo YAYA. Where are you from, Mr. Bullard?
South Carolina.
What part? What part?
Oh, I'm from Florence. Well, I'm from a little small town called Mullins, which is just a dot on the map. But I like the small town life. I like being able to walk out in the backyard and look up at the stars. You know what I mean?
I understand it.
I love that.
Understandable.
Yeah, I don't know that I would ever move away from that. I mean, I would move somewhere that was the country, but I can't go move away from the country. You know what I mean?
I got you, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Gumbo YAYA radio show, all the way from Mullins, North Carolina, Mr. James Scott Bullard. And this is his song, Wicked Ways, off of his new album, Full Tilt Boogie.
I was a baby when my mama said no women, no wine, no song. 'Cause your daddy, he was a rambler, and that's the same road that he left on. He played a guitar, he drank the whiskey, he chased all them bad girls around. But all that wild life caught up to him and run him into the ground. Oh! I was a young man, like my daddy, running as wild as I could be, living too fast, in love with dying. I guess the devil had a hold on me. One Sunday morning, the preacher told me, say, boy, you're going straight to hell. I say, well, preacher, when you get to heaven, have the good Lord to forward my mail. All my life I've been a sinner. I might turn around one of these days, set aside all my demons, and give up my wicked ways. Had me a woman, she found religion and ran off to save her soul. I tried to follow, but I got lost in all that damn honky-tonk rock and roll. So the moral of my story is don't throw your life away. But if you do now, bring your money, 'cause it's a hell of a price to pay. All my life I've been a sinner. I might turn around one of these days, set aside all my demons, and give up my wicked ways. Oh. Oh, son. That's almighty. All my life I've been a sinner. I might turn around one of these days, set aside all my demons, and give up my wicked ways. Give up my wicked ways.
I don't know if I could give up my wicked ways, man. Listening to this music by James Scott Bullard makes you just want to go out and be bad, man. You got wicked ways on here. Lord have mercy. Some wicked ways. I fall all to pieces listening to this. Hey, mama, help me. I'm on a warpath. I'll end up, it's either Jesus, jail, or Texas. All this evil loving happening inside me here. This music is just... I tell you what, man, if I don't make it back to you before the next tier, you know what I'm saying? You with me, Mr. Bullard?
Listen, that is probably the best I've ever heard somebody take all the songs and make one sentence. I mean, that was amazing. I knew that should have been an ID right there.
So it's good, man. I can't not love what you do, man. I can't not love what you do. Appreciate the folks that are around you that introduced us to you. You reach out to the other DJs on this station. I guarantee they'll play your music for you. Check out Let There Be Country on Saturdays. Willie from Warwick, he hosts that program. It's the longest running country music program in the metropolitan area, over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's on the HD1. It's on the FM bandwidth. We're on the HD2, so if you want to hear us, you got to have an HD2 radio or one of them satellite radios. We're in that bandwidth in between. But
I got you.
That's where we're at. But we're worldwide. We got folks tuning all in from around. We'd like to say good morning and howdy. Thank you to Sawmill Road for checking in. We played some of their music earlier. Mr. Billy Gant, Country Legends, checking in with us. Tasha James. Our folks out in Ireland, London, England, thank you so much for listening and for commenting. And thank you, Mr. Bullard, for tuning in. So it's James Scott Bullard. That's Bullard. His new album, Full Tilt Boogie. You can find everything at jamesscottbullard.com. Or you can give him a call. His cell phone number is 843. I won't do that.
Oh, I've had some strange middle of the night phone calls and emails. It wouldn't be nothing new. You're fine.
All right. So
somehow my phone number got out there at one point, and so I still get some phone calls, some strange messages here and there, but we're good.
All right, man. Well, listen, one more time. Let's tell folks, if you can recollect, where you're going to be playing, what you got coming up next, how they can hear your music, where they can find you at, all that good stuff. And remind folks who you are, where you're from, and what they're listening to one more time again.
I got you. Listen, I'm as far as I know right now, I'm doing the D's Country Cocktail Lounge release party. It's going to be, there's a lot going on that night. And one of the things is the release of this record. Full Tilt Boogie, and that's going to be April 27th in Nashville, Tennessee. And after that, I'm hearing dates coming in left and right, but I honestly don't know until the itinerary gets in front of me. And so once I have the itinerary, but now they can check the website, jamesscottbullard.com, and that'll let them know anything, the tour dates. As soon as I get them, they're put on that website.
All right, so, perfect, man. Well, I'm a huge fan, man. I really am.
Appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
And we're very fortunate to do what we do here. This is your program. I'm just the host, so I mean, this is your show. So that's how we work it here. Let's talk about Back to You.
Yes.
Because that's one of those songs on there that when you listen to it, you know, everybody knows. We've heard the story, whether we've told it ourselves or we heard it from somebody else. You know what I mean? That's one of those songs where you're like, oh, I just went through that, or you know, my buddy just told me the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you know, the story. It's funny. This is a lot of people don't know this, and you know, that song is actually about my son. There comes a point in everybody's life where you're at a crossroads and you have to make a decision. And mine came down to being, you know, a family man or doing this, you know, and I chose this, and I didn't choose it over him. I chose it for him. And, but every road I go down takes me back to him, you know, like that's when I'm gone, he's who I miss. You know, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend, but that's my heart. You know what I mean? That's where when I'm gone, we have we both have a piece of a necklace that a buddy of mine made from Arkansas, and it was a quarter, and he took the quarter and he took the middle out of it, and so I wear the round piece on a necklace, and my son keeps he's 12 years old, he keeps the centerpiece with him. So at all times we're in touch, you know. And but that song was basically just me having a very personal song for me. It was just me having made the decisions that I made, and again, living with what I had done and the decisions I made, which weren't always good, and saying, you know, hey, but it's okay, you know. And I've told him time and again, if you learn anything from me, you know, go for it. Take your chance, because you may not ever get it again, you know. And so that song is just me kind of letting him know that no matter what I do, I'm coming back to him.
All right. Well, I got to play that for you real quick, because probably going to get cut off at the end, coming up at the top of the hour. But so why don't you go ahead, introduce the song, dedicate it to your son, and let us play that for you.
Yes, sir. This song is Back to You. My name is James Scott Bullard. You were listening to Gumbo YAYA Radio, and this song is for my little boy Memphis. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Running from myself.
digital delight of jazz and what's more on WFDU HD2, Teaneck.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gumbo YAYA radio show right here on WFDU 89.1 FM, HD2, and we are chatting with, let's tell you who we're chatting with. Listen to this.
Hey, this is James Scott Bullard, and you're listening to Gumbo YAYA radio show on WFDU 89.1 FM in New York.
Yes, sir, that's right. And we just heard his song, Back to You, off his new album, Full Tilt Boogie, and we have him on the phone here. We're gonna, well, we had him on the phone. I wonder if I lost him. But you there?
Yes, sir.
Man, I ain't never met somebody that had a hard time working with a phone like I do.
No. We actually had a pretty bad storm here last night, so I maybe my signal.
Nah, we're good. So listen, thank you so much. I enjoyed.
Thank you.
I appreciate you joining us, chatting with us. And
I appreciate you wanting to chat.
No, I really like it. We got to get you up to New York, man. We got to get you out here. There are tons of venues, tons of places where they would welcome you.
Let's do it.
And you'll really enjoy it. And I don't know if you heard me. I said, like, when you were describing that necklace, I'm thinking, man, that would be the coolest album cover ever. If you put that on some black leather, like just having that necklace there, that would just be the coolest album cover. I think,
you know what? Like the funniest thing is that it is a black leather. That's actually what it's on. So what what we should do is like maybe bring back the 45 and let that be the cover of the 45 record.
That would be great. A lot of people are doing that, man. A lot of people are pressing pressing CDs to look like albums now.
They do, and I tell you, this Full Tilt Boogie is going to be on vinyl. It's going to be later on, I think maybe around June, but people will be able to get it on vinyl too.
All right, so let's give credit again to the folks that produced this for you. Let's talk about the label and the management and all that kind of stuff, because I think what you do is great, and listen to this, you have some great people behind you. So who do you want to mention?
Oh man, Missy Davis Jones is my manager, and she's also the president of Big Mavis Records, and she's also she sits in the producer chair, and her husband Ken Dakota Jones is the engineer. He's the mastermind that sits behind the board and kind of he somehow is able to orchestrate all my crazy ideas and make it seem like my idea. But isn't that without them, this record would not have gotten made, and without Rich Mayhem, who's working the radio, Kim Grant, there's so many people and they're just all working together. My booking agent Tim and Emily, and there's so many people who are just kind of it's like the roots of a tree. You know what I mean? And the only way the tree can grow, like I could have put this record out of my garage, but it wouldn't have been as nearly as good, and it wouldn't have gotten into as many hands, into as many ears without that team. Without the roots of that tree. And they're each and every one very appreciated. I could never put into words, how much they all mean and how much what a lot of people don't understand, I guess, is that, it doesn't just end when the record's done. It doesn't stop there for the artist. It doesn't, that's your stopping point maybe as far as creativity, but then it has to go elsewhere to be able to, get to your desk, for example. It's not just going to magically like appear. It has to be, people are paid to do these kind of things, and they do their job very, very well, and I could. There's just so much appreciation for them, because without them, again, it wouldn't be, being played so much right now as it is.
Well, we're grateful for all their work. We're grateful for the program, the finished product. It's excellent. It's excellent. I can't help but expect to see you in multiple awards shows as a recipient. And I know it's not why you do it, but I can't, So I know you got to go. I'm gonna let you go. Before we do, I'm gonna have you introduce Evil Lovin' for us. Tell folks, introduce yourself, the song. Tell folks who that, where you're from, where you at, what they're listening to, and then we'll play that song. And I'm gonna just let you know now, man. Before I let you go, hug your friends, kiss your family, thank the Lord, and you and your friends keep listening to Gumbo YAYA Radio Show. All right.
All right. Well, listen, we're this song, Evil Lovin', man, if you've ever been in love with anybody, and I'm talking to men and women, if you've ever been in love with anybody who was just bad news, and 9 times out of 10 it was probably me. That's what this song is about. And without further ado, you're listening to Gumbo YAYA Radio. This is James Scott Bullard. This song is off of the new album coming April 27th called Full Tilt Boogie, and it is called Evil Lovin'.
Well, I got me a gal, I got some bad habits too. Yeah, I got me a gal, I got them bad habits too. That old gal don't love me, but man, my habits sure do. Well, she ain't no good, she's just a low-down snake in the grass. Hey, she ain't no good, she's just a low-down snake in the grass. Now she got me seeing double through the bottom of a whiskey glass. Got an evil kind of love with a mean streak 10 miles per hour. Got that evil kind of loving with a mean streak 10 miles per hour. Hey, I'd rather friend the devil than to have that woman by my side. And I ain't gonna stick around while she treat me like she do. I ain't gonna stick around while she treat me like she do. I said I might be crazy, but mama, I ain't crazy about you. No, I ain't.
Hey, this is James Scott Bullard, and you're listening to Gumbo YAYA Radio Show on WFDU 89.1.